Someone who makes you feel less than human is a narcissist. These are egotistical people that always think they are better than other people. Being near them might cause numerous traumas and mental diseases since they are the master manipulators and are poisonous. Interacting with such people for a lengthy period of time may have psychological and lasting traumatizing effects. This movie will demonstrate 10 mental disorders that narcissists may cause. Start with number 1, paranoia. People with paranoia, a mental illness, are unclear of their wants, they can't trust other people, and they are also terrified of criticism. Your mind will be under stress if you stay with the narcissist. They could exploit your emotions by manipulating you. A person may experience fear of being criticized for their impulsivity and difficulty trusting people, as well as fear of betrayal behind their back if it is used against them frequently. Number 2 is an obsessional compulsive condition. In accordance with what they intended, narcissistic parents have brought up their kids to be the finest versions of themselves as people. This parenting may contribute to a child's OCD tendencies, including a desire for order, symmetry, and forms, as well as a fear of contamination. These are also those who experience uncomfortable feelings of inadequacy. Number 3, post-traumatic stress disorder with complicated symptoms, CPTSD. The subject is intriguing. Most of the time, it can be challenging for kids to grow up with one of the nurse's parents because narcissistic parents push them to be the best of all time in order to gain their fate and confidence. They create an environment where their kids can be the best, and if they fall short of this standard, emotional abuse may result, possibly resulting in complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It can progress to dreams of hypervigilance and persistent doubt about their capacity to win over the narcissist's parents. Number 4, disordered anxiety. In general, long-term exposure to a stressful environment increases the risk of developing general anxiety disorder. One example of this is those who have gone through terrible instances of embarrassment, disappointment, and criticism. For instance, you might have been bullied by a narcissistic classmate for a long time at school, which made you fear that someone would hurt you. Excessive worry could be a sign of a narcissist who uses similar weapons to harm others for their own gain or because they think they are better than others. Number 5, food addiction. Is an eating disorder a mental illness? Is a question you could have. The answer is true. In fact, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders contains 8 categories and recognizes eating disorders as mental diseases. The challenging aspect of eating disorders is that they may also impact extremely medical celebrities, for instance, who are held to high aesthetic standards and may feel compelled to reduce weight. In an attempt to blend in with other people, many narcissists in this area try to knock someone down by underestimating the value of others. An individual who has a narcissistic perspective on weight loss is more likely to develop an eating problem, such as bulimia, anorexia, binge eating, etc. Those who don't think they're gorgeous have ill effects on their physical, mental, and emotional health. We must accept ourselves in whatever state we are in because it is important to keep in mind that someone with an eating problem may experience issues for a long time, and that recovery may take time. We are all gorgeous. Number 6, depression. Depression is a dangerous condition that is widespread and has claimed many lives. It's a true feeling of unfathomable hatred, sadness, anger, and emptiness. The participation of a narcissist in depression is insensitive to other people's feelings. They do not help a person cope with depression in any way. Instead, they belittle them. The length of time you spent with a narcissist, whether at home or at school, is comparable to other illnesses mentioned above. Whether you were in friendships or romantic relationships, the toxicity of these relationships may cause significant heart trauma that cannot be healed, leading to depression. Keep in mind that a depressed individual poses a safety risk. Some of them conceal themselves under a friendly, unproblematic demeanor. We must be aware of others' feelings since they are real whether we are aware of them or not, because our words are as sharp as language. Number 7. Unpredictable emotions, worries, and concern are a few indicators of borderline personality disorder, which they claim is more prevalent in toxic homes. The narcissistic parents who emotionally mistreated or, in the worst instance, sexually assaulted their children for a long time are to blame for this illness. For instance, a person with a borderline personality frequently mistreats their children who have been neglected by their parents. A person who was treated unfairly by his parents and is dating a narcissist will have a damaging relationship. This will result in a BPD diagnosis, particularly if the patient suffers from a syndrome known as fear of abandonment. Because of this, a narcissist would exploit it in order to purposefully mislead the whole relationship and get overburdened by the issue of the individual who is exhibiting BPD symptoms. Number 8. One of the causes of psychotic condition is abuse or trauma received from other individuals. Trauma on the psychological or emotional level may be present, and it may be genetic or purposeful. If narcissistic emotional abuse is sustained over a lengthy period of time, the victim may have psychotic episodes. A person's psychological view changes as a result of growing up around narcissists. It will cause stress, anxiety, or depression, and if it is not treated right away, it will develop into a psychotic condition. People will become disengaged from reality as a result, which will expose them to hearing or seeing false information. People should be cautious and take good care of themselves since although it only occurs in 1 in 10 cases, it nonetheless happens. Care for mental health. Number 9. Panic attack. Living in a poisonous environment, especially when around the narcissist, produces panic attacks. Although panic attacks are well known in the medical field, they are also frequent in individuals with social anxiety. Often, these episodes take over a person after they have experienced anger, disappointment, or humiliation from someone or something. You may occasionally feel symptoms like chills, sweating, a rapid heart rate, or other bodily symptoms after fighting with the narcissist who is criticizing and gaslighting you. Panic attacks show these symptoms. Number 10. Disorder of the narcissistic personality. Although narcissistic personalities are often inherited, they are mostly produced. Someone who grew up around narcissistic gods will eventually develop one of them. These people are the children who see themselves as possessions for perfection and a treasure for self-righteousness. They are bullies who teach others to act in this way. They have had the best training and feel entitled to the top position since they have been trained to be the best. They are skilled at exaggerating their own significance, gaining the admiration of others, and maintaining their position at the top of the heap. It was brought on by a traumatic event involving parental abuse or neglect. Because they tend to make the world revolve around them, they also have trouble empathizing with others. A lengthy time of counseling and self-esteem building is required for NDP treatment. Contrary to common assumption, narcissists are not always bad people. They too are the victims of a cruel society and need to be treated with kindness. Do you have any additions to the list? If you leave a comment, we'll pin it. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.